So I just canceled my Switch OLED pre order. And it's not because of certain people questioning my decisions, telling me why I'm going for the Switch OLED. More specifically, my family telling me that. It's not because of that. But the question did sit in my head. Why was I paying for an OLED model in the first place? And the real reason was it would have been a good video idea for this channel, release day, take it home, unbox it, review it, show the differences, the improvements that the OLED has over the regular Switch. And that's about it. There really was no other reason to it. I do have this fear that with my current Switch, if I take it with me somewhere, I don't want it to get stolen or damaged. And that, reasoning is, for one, we're still kind of at a point where Switches are, getting sold out, and then maybe they get restocked and then sold out. But I have the Mario Switch, as I'm sure you're aware of, which you can't even find anywhere at normal price, which is odd because the Animal Crossing Switch was also a limited edition Switch, and you can still find them in various places. I've been to a couple Walmarts that had like 5 of them in stock, not counting what they may have in the back and what they may get restocked. You can still go to Best Buy's website and get a Animal Crossing Switch when they're back in stock. But for some reason, this Mario Switch is not coming back in stock. The Monster Hunter Switch is not. The Fortnite one is not coming back in stock. That's actually a nice one. The Fortnite one is kind of nice. So it's weird that the Animal Crossing one has been getting back in stock. Maybe it's just like extra inventory being lying around. Cause that's actually what happened when the Animal Crossing got sold out. A few months later, companies like GameStop were like, "Hey, we found this extra inventory of Switch Animal Crossing editions that we didn't know about." And it's like, yeah, sure. But either way, I love my red Switch. I don't want to have to get it damaged or stolen. And that's not. I'm not saying that's gonna happen every time I go out. I'm not saying damage. I can't count for damage. You don't know what's gonna happen when you go outside. But as for it being stolen, I'm not saying it will get stolen. I'm very cautious with my things. I usually don't even take it with me unless I'm going to my mother's place to hang out with my brother and play games with him. So there's not really much of an argument for that right now. So what it came down to is, do I want to keep spending money towards this OLED that may be used for taking it outside on the go? Or do I want to just cancel it and get the money back? Now, one of the reasons why I was going to get it was because the bigger screen was going to be the main selling point for me, as it is for most people who are buying the OLED. I don't have perfect vision. I don't. Especially my left eye is actually blurry compared to my right eye. So it's sometimes hard to see my Switch if I'm playing on my desk. And I figured the bigger screen would help. But I really don't play at my desk that often anyway. It's probably like once a week, if that. It usually just sits at my dock. Unless I'm going to my mother's place and I'm playing a game with my brother. If it's not docked and we're playing a game together like a multiplayer, I'll play handheld because I'm holding it close to me. But if it's at my table, I can't really see it. But like I said, it's rarely on my desk anyway. So that was a main reason not to go with the OLED. Now, I've been telling people from the beginning, even before this OLED got announced, all the rumors of Switch 4K and 4K Switch, I told people it's not going to happen. And I also made a video about why my reasonings were that I think it was going to happen. So I'll link that here somewhere. But the main point of that video was that a 4K Switch is not currently cost effective for Nintendo because 4K games do require, realistically, they require more hard drive space to play them, and and that would mean that Nintendo will have to buy bigger size game cartridges to fit those games on. Why do you think certain games have additional download for you to put on the game? Because it doesn't all fit on the card, and that's why we have Switch tax, because those cards cost more than a disc. So that's really the main reason why there was, I don't think there's a 4K Switch coming out anytime soon. It's not cost effective. The cards are going to cost a lot more, and then they're gonna charge more, and they want people to buy their consoles. That's why Nintendo Switch has been the best-selling console for a while in terms of these generations, is because it's cheaper and they could probably make more of it. Even when the PS5 and the Xboxes came out, yeah, there wasn't as much stock of those next gens, which is why Nintendo was also the best-selling one. But again, that price difference, 300 versus 500, that's a huge price gap. And then, a lot of people are excited about the kickstand because it's a better kickstand. Honestly, you don't really need a better kickstand. I actually have here somewhere. It's like $20 from Amazon, and it's a better kickstand for your Switch, and it holds a Switch. And it also has a couple of USB ports and the charger port. I think I made a video about this as well. This is only like $20. They do have a $40 one, I think, that has more USB ports. That's if you're trying to play like 4 players locally, like Mario Kart, and you want to use wired controllers. But yeah, you can get one of these for like $20, or even cheaper ones for like $10. Even if you have a Five Below, you can find one for $5 at Five Below. I've bought a couple of them, and that'll give you the better kickstand experience anyway. And this isn't that big of a deal to carry. Look how small it is. It could fit in your pocket. So you got to think about it this way: kickstand, not a big deal when you have one of these. The OLED screen, it's really only an issue if either you don't have a Switch and you want to get an improved Switch, or if you just think the screen is going to be a better experience, because it's really, I don't think it is. Like, yeah, you may have more vibrant colors in your game, but the games are still going to run the same. I hear Hyrule Warriors, has terrible frame rate. Monster Hunter Stories 2, I keep hearing about the frame rate being bad. In my experience, it's only bad in your main village hub area, and it's not terrible. It's maybe like, 24, 25 frames roughly. I don't test frames. I don't know how to do that anyway, but it's not that bad. It's a much better, when you're in the open world, the frame rate's actually fine. But yeah, it's all, everyone knows this already. This Switch is not an improvement in terms of performance. It's not a graphical improvement. It's not a performance improvement. Frame rate. There's not it doesn't have a better battery. It's just a screen that doesn't even cost that much money for them to put into it. A screen is only like, I think, $3 to $5. They said, or supposedly they only got to pay $3 to $5 to get the screen. So it's not worth the money to get the OLED, in my opinion, if you already have a Switch. Not to mention, I already have 4 Joy-Cons. I don't need any more Joy-Cons. I actually got rid of a few wireless and wired controllers because I had too many controllers. I got the main Pro, I got the $100 controller, and I got a wired one with the light up colors and everything. So ultimately I decided, look, I don't need a Switch Pro. If you have a Switch and it works fine and you play docked primarily, you don't need it. And the whole thing about a built-in Ethernet connection and how it's faster than a USB to Ethernet adapter, it's not going to make a big difference, okay? Because when I do play online, my online experience is fine. I think the important thing about your online experience is, well, number one, certain games run like crap online. But number two, if your internet isn't that good, you're not going to have a good time. I tried playing a game with my brother because his internet is really bad. And he kept getting kicked from the game because the internet couldn't handle it. Whereas I have gigabyte internet, so my internet connection is fine, and I can play my games and download my games quickly. So I really don't think the wired Ethernet port is a big deal if you can get an adapter for like $20. Actually, if you consider this and the adapter, it's $40 right there. It's about the same price as what the OLED will cost, cheaper even. If you play primarily docked. Now, if you're a handheld player and you don't have a Switch, then by all means, if you can get the OLED, get the OLED. You let me know how it is with your OLED. But I just couldn't really see myself to buy it. Even with the audio enhancements, I primarily would use headphones anyway. Plus, the Switch's audio is only an issue when you're in a loud room, as any device's audio, your iPad, your phone. It's not going to sound good with a loud room, but if you're, say you're by yourself or you're in a small group, the audio will be fine. Yes, the OLED will have a better audio, but even besides that, you can get, I use headphones. You can even buy, I tested it before, you buy a Bluetooth adapter and get a Bluetooth speaker, and it'll work just fine. Actually, it'll work pretty amazing. So that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my reasonings to not get an OLED, or if you are going to get an OLED, and why. I know one person who is going to get one because he has a Switch for the family and a Switch Lite for his kid, I think. And I think he just wants an OLED for himself, or Switch for himself, so he's gonna get the OLED because it's, might as well. And that's a reasonable reason to get one. You have your main Switch for your family and for your kids, and then when you have your need to game on your own, you have your OLED. That way he can play his game while his kids play their games. So that's a legitimate reason. But let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to check out some other videos I got on my channel. I am thinking about getting Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on my Switch. I don't know. I've seen a lot of reviews for the other versions, and it's enough reviews for me to not really consider getting it. But I keep getting trailers, shoved in my face through YouTube. And maybe it'll be an interesting video to put here. I don't know. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.